Today we're going to be talking about all of the best tools and resources for commercial real estate agents. Now I get questions all the time in the comment section below about what kind of software I use for pulling data, skip tracing, CRM systems, you name it. So let's dive in. The first thing that people talk about all the time in the commercial world is LoopNet. LoopNet is probably one of the misunderstood softwares of all time. I think it's absolutely not needed almost whatsoever unless you're listing a lot of commercial properties. If you're listing a lot of commercial properties, then you're gonna need LoopNet because it just has to be on CoStar and it has to be on a LoopNet. We're gonna talk about CoStar in a second, but LoopNet is really like, for somebody like myself, I don't really list any types of commercial properties at all. 99% of the deals that that I sell personally never hit the open market. I have an investor, we get a deal done, end of story, that's it, right? You know, these are people who really don't even wanna sign an exclusive and then, you know, we do everything off market. That's why I don't even need LoopNet. You don't really need LoopNet unless you're gonna be listing a lot of commercial properties. So I just wanted to make that super clear. A lot of people have asked me about that. Second software is ChatGPT. ChatGPT is something I use fairly regularly. Do I think it's gonna help you make a lot of money in this business? Probably not. However, it is a software that I think is talked about a lot, but realistically, I don't really think you absolutely need it in a lot of circumstances, but I do use it, so I wanted to talk about it. Mainly, I use it for organization. So when I have a lot of things that I'm trying to organize or a lot of things I'm trying to come up with ideas for, that is a great software for me to kind of think through different problems or strategies or tactics that I'm trying to implement. If I want to create outlines for videos, if I want to create it for content, it's a fantastic software for coming up with ideas and things where I don't really want to spend a lot of time doing it, but I know that needs to be done. Awesome, awesome platform for that. As well as, again, we've talked about this in the previous video, which if you have not seen my ChatGPT overview video, make sure you check that out as well. But that's really, for the most part, what I really use ChatGPT for. Now, let's dive into the softwares that I use on an absolute daily basis. Like, literally, you can't do business without them. First one I love using is Reonomy. Reonomy is a fantastic platform. It's a few $100s a month. Reonomy, and the next one I'm going to be talking about, are probably the most costly, and we're going to dive into some more affordable things as well. But in order to have a successful business in the commercial real estate world as a real estate agent, and probably even as an investor as well, you're really going to need Reonomy. It's just a hands down, no questions asked, you're going to need Reonomy. It's a great also starting service you can probably afford right off the bat in your early parts of your career. If you don't have access to it at your brokerage, I'd probably would just tell you to switch brokerages or find a way to pay for it yourself. So I use Reonomy for a number of different things. Reonomy, I think, has some of the best contact information you're going to get. Possibly maybe a smidge under CoStar depending on the right circumstances. Sometimes Reonomy has better data, sometimes CoStar has better data for certain properties. The point is, we're talking about CoStar completely separate in just a second, but for Reonomy, I pull contact information from it, I pull reports from it, I pull data from it all the time. I use it for any time that, just kind of like an MLS version on the residential world. Reonomy is a really, really powerful tool where you're going to be able to, quickly look up properties. My team is typically on Reonomy literally every day, several times a day. I was going to say literally almost at all times. We have a tab open with just Reonomy open, so you can look up properties really quickly, and we can have good, powerful, productive conversations with people that my team is prospecting. So Reonomy has been a really powerful tool for us. One thing I want to stress for you guys is whether it's Reonomy or CoStar, you're going to realize that it doesn't have all of the data. You're never going to be able to get 100% of the data. So just know that you're going to get a large percentage from Reonomy. And then number two, we're going to be talking about CoStar. CoStar is another amazing platform that I think that any person who you want to start scaling your business, start selling a lot of commercial real estate as you make money, if your brokerage does not have it, you're going to definitely need to have it, which is a super powerful platform just like Reonomy. That platform is going to cost you somewhere between, really $1,200 to $2,000 a month. It's a very expensive platform for the most part. That being said, it does also have a lot of information and data and reporting that Reonomy can't do. Reonomy can do a lot of reporting, but it can't do everything. So when you're trying to pull certain data, it's not gonna be able to have as much. So like I said, Reonomy is number one for me because I think it's a really simple tool for everyone to use right off the bat. However, CoStar is just a fantastic platform. Obviously, if you can afford it, I think you should 100% have it. It's been incredibly lucrative for us. We also pull a lot of information in regards to contact information. Specifically, we pull contact lists all the time from CoStar and Reonomy. We take both of those lead lists, and that's how we basically pull a lot of the leads that we take off. We originally take them from CoStar, and we take them from Reonomy. So those are the two best platforms that you can possibly get your hands on in the commercial real estate world. I've had people ask me about CREsync. I'm not a huge fan. I don't like CREsync whatsoever. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't have CREsync, and I probably will never get CREsync. I just don't like it. It basically is a worse version of Reonomy and a worse version of CoStar. So, you know, again, it's only a few $100. It's cheaper than Reonomy, but you might as well just pay the extra 100 and something bucks and just get the better version. I'm not a big fan of it, and you can only pull 250 contacts a month, which is terrible. I'm not a big fan of that. Next platform and or software you're gonna need is Mojo. So I use a software called mojosells.com. I'm not an affiliate. The point is I've just been using it for nearly 10 years of my life. My entire career I've been on this platform. It's just a dialing service. The reason why I like it so much is that you will pull the data that you get, you're gonna take all that data, and then you're gonna put it right into a software like Mojo, which there are several dialers out there. I personally use Mojo. You can create a list, you organize everything, you can put it right into Mojo software, and you can use a triple line dialer and call everyone in that list very proficiently, very effectively. You can leave voicemails you can pre-record, you can have callback messages you can pre-record, you can use different phone numbers. I mean, it's just a fantastic platform I've used for a number of years. My team has used it for years. Everyone loves it. It's a very simple platform. It's a little bit less user-friendly than most other dialers, but I love it. I think it just has a lot of options that are very, very lucrative. I definitely would play around with it for the first maybe day or two just so you understand it, but it's a very, very lucrative platform, especially if you're gonna be doing 200, 500, 1,000 calls a day. I said skip tracing, you're gonna wanna hear this information, so listen up close. One of the best platforms and softwares that we've ever started using is Batch Leads. I'm a huge fan of them. Batch Leads is basically a software where you will take the lead lists that you pull from Reonomy and CoStar. You will put that into an Excel spreadsheet and you kind of clean it up a little bit. You're gonna remove all the data points that you don't really need. You just basically have the columns and the information that you do need, and then you're gonna put into a software called Batch Leads. Now, Batch Leads is actually pretty affordable. Costs you like 10, 20 bucks or something like that per file review. It doesn't cost you a lot of money to have it skip traced by Batch Leads. Sometimes it's as much as 150 or 200 bucks if it's a huge list, but for the most part, it's very affordable. You'll take the lead list you pull from Reonomy and CoStar, you clean it up, you throw it into Batch Leads, and Batch Leads is a fantastic skip tracing software where you're basically going to be able to get most of the contact information you were looking for, aka phone numbers for the most part for us. Phone numbers are gonna be the most crucial. So you will get, for the most part, most phone numbers, and they are fairly accurate. I think it's one of the best skip tracing softwares that I've used. So many people ask me, do I use a skip tracing software or do I use the township databases? It is incredibly expensive to use township databases. I've used them over the years and I've spent a lot of money, and I've worked with people who've spent a lot of money using township databases, which are incredibly accurate. However, they're just not necessary, right? I mean, you could do it for essentially a fraction of the cost, and I'm just a huge fan of using something like Batch Leads. It's very simple, it's very not time consuming, right? Very easy, very quick. You upload an Excel spreadsheet and it's done very quickly. So big fan of Batch Leads, big fan of just doing the script tracing, one and done, don't ever think about it, upload the list and it's taken care of for you. So you're gonna pull the list from Reonomy and CoStar, you clean it up just a little bit, or we even have a VA that cleans it up, you throw it into Batch Leads, they'll give you all the contact information that it can pull out, so now you have a larger percentage of all the contact information. You take that lead list, you put it into Mojo, and you start dialing your phone. And the next step here is that you generated a lead, because you're gonna need a phone, right? Obviously, this is just, they're self-explanatory, where you're gonna need a phone, you're gonna have to call those leads. However, now that you've gotten that person on the phone, and now that they are a lead, this is someone where they got the contact, you've called them up, they said they want to sell, you got their information, you got information about the property, now what? The next tool that we use is Google Drive. So I'm a huge fan of Google Drive, where we have everything you could possibly imagine in Google Drive. Google Drive houses all of our boards, where we have all the Excel spreadsheets that are basically compacted into one. We know when they were last called, when they were last reached out to, when they were last talked to. My VA takes care of all that. And then that person gets inputted into the CRM system. So from Google Drive, where everything is kind of organized, put into a dialer. Once everyone's called on the dialer, everything gets basically siphoned out of exactly what happens with that lead, and then all the great leads will be put into our CRM system, and all the other leads that are not contacted, we'll try to reach out to them. If we don't get them on the phone, we'll put them in a CRM system and put them on a marketing campaign. We use 3 different CRM systems for all different things. So first one we use is REI Reply. So we use REI Reply for all marketing services. Again, if you want to use another similar one, is Brivity. Those two softwares are very, very similar, but they use them basically for marketing purposes. So marketing for us is email campaigns, and text campaigns are very, very lucrative through these two softwares. So Brivity and REI Reply. The third CRM system we use is Follow Boss. We use Follow Boss specifically for all deal organization, where all the deals, we create OMs and we have deal blocks. It's a really cool reporting tool that you can use in Follow Boss, where everything's kind of organized in that software. Everything's right there, and it's really easy for you to look at what deals you have, what deals are coming up, what deals are in contract. It's very simple to keep things organized once deals are moving along, where this is basically beyond the fact that they're being marketed to. Now you actually, they're ready to go. It's a hot lead. All their information's right there. So like you can attach an OM, you can attach documents, you can do whatever you want. Very, very simple in Follow Boss. And then the last thing I just want to touch on for all these softwares and tools, realize that for the most part, if you're a commercial real estate agent and you are looking to make more money, be more productive, you are not going to need all of these platforms off the bat. You're just not going to need it. I would just stick with something like start with Reonomy. You can start with Mojo. You don't even need to put it in batch leads right off the bat. You can just pull a list from Reonomy. You can throw it into Mojo Dialer. You can make your phone calls. You can get one of those CRM systems. So when you call, you get a lead, you put it into one of the CRM systems, and then you just keep following up with them in order to close the transaction. Google Drive is fairly, I think it's like $6 a month or something like that, so it's not super expensive. Not super expensive. We try to keep the cost incredibly low. Other than those platforms, the only other thing that we've used quite frequently is Canva for creating OMs. We have like an outline/design template that we've created, and we'll use that all the time for our OMs, like the offering memorandums for our deals. So those are really the softwares we use on a very regular basis. Very, very simplistic. Obviously, we've built up to this point where now we can afford to use all those different softwares. In total, I mean, you are talking about quite a few $1,000s a month for every single platform. It's not incredibly expensive, obviously, once you get to a certain point, but at the very beginning of your career, I would definitely not recommend that you get all of them until you can slowly build into it, just because you don't need to have crazy overhead right at the beginning of your career. Other than that, guys, if you have any questions or questions about different softwares, about what we're doing or anything like that, make sure you put it in the comment section down below. We do read every single comment, and I want to make sure we get back to everyone. Other than that, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, everyone. Take care.
If you're still watching this video, that means to me that you're a committed real estate agent and you're looking to take your life and business to the next level. I'm just curious, why have you yet to schedule your free, no obligation coaching consultation? All you have to do is simply go in the description down below, and people are telling me this call has been the most unbelievable, the most powerful call they've had in their entire career. And here's just a few of the individuals who have taken full advantage of this call. And my mission is to support as many realtors as possible, build a 6- and 7-figure net income business so that they don't have to rely on this industry anymore for their everyday income. If you're a committed realtor, which I can see like you are, all you have to simply do to take full advantage of this free coaching consultation is to go in the description down below and schedule your free call now.